the mindset of an entrepreneur founder is very different from a mindset that a VC probably would have. Learning from your journey, you kind of have a shade of both because you're a founder as well and in the VC space. And usually what we have also seen is founders are agile. They would probably look at opportunities immediately, while VCs would probably look at a long-term goal, long-term vision. How do you maintain a balance between both? Because you have both sides of it.
I'm still learning. I'll be very honest on that. I'm still trying to kind of figure out. When I started, the mindset for me was that the mindset that is required from a startup founder is very different from the mindset required for a VC.
Right.
For one single reason, that as a startup, you need to be super agile and you need to kind of be able to understand, iterate very fast,
Right.
and be able to get to the next stage and get that product right and keep evolving on a regular basis.
Right.
Whereas as a VC, you got to have a lot of patience. You need to iterate a lot of ideas in your own mind,
Right.
but the outcomes of your actions come about only in 3-4 years at a minimum, and typically it takes 6-7 years because the true success metric of your VC career is what is the outcomes that you've created,
Correct.
not what are the investments you've created. It's not about how much capital your companies have raised.
Right.
It's about what kind of outcome has it created. Because there are two stakeholders for us. One is the portfolio founders,
Right.
for whom we are investing money and also saying, okay, we need to bring value.
Right.
But the other side of that coin is also that we are also investing money on behalf of somebody else.
Right.
And the pitch, when we are doing a sale, we are basically saying we will create that value for you. So to that extent, you need to create those outcomes. And that takes a long time.
Right.
And by the time you kind of figure out what is that direction,
Right.
you may have already been on the right path, or you figure out that this is not for you. But at the same time, now still, taking those baby steps as a founder to some extent. I'm also lucky to be partnering with someone who's been a founder for a long time. One of the things I also realize is I think some of the traits that you require are pretty much the same. That agility in the mind is important.
Right.
You need to be highly flexible. You need to be able to, take feedback. You need to be able to adapt yourself.
Right.
But always keeping in mind that you're kind of building this for the long term, which is actually true for a founder as well.
Correct.
You're building, there are many times you need to iterate, but
Right.
you always have to have that vision that you're building this for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Right.
It's a very similar thing that way. So
Right.
I think I'm also kind of learning that it's actually very similar.
Right. Different lenses, but
Different lenses, but I think the characteristics or the ideas that you need to kind of work with are very similar.
similar.
You just need to have that patient approach to things.